everyone, Brewmaster here with another great ale review. Tonight, for your viewing pleasure, I bring you something from the Kentucky Brewing Company. This is their old-fashioned barrel ale. Pretty cool label at the top there. I'll show you the cap once I take it off. It's from the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. It comes in at 10% ABV. Let's see, Rate Beer has it at a 69 overall and a 31 for the style. And it is an 83 on Beer Advocate. The bros have not tried it. This is an American Strong Ale, which I have not tried many of at all. Let's see here. This is ale brewed with cherries and orange peel, aged in oak, bourbon, and bitters barrels. So that's pretty awesome. Definitely unique sounding. This will be the first beer I have ever tried from Kentucky. So I'm pretty anxious to go ahead and try it. I didn't really know what to pour a strong ale in, so I'm just going with a regular basic no-nip. I said I'd show you the cap. Pretty cool. I have to give a shout out to Mariah. She went on a trip and came back with a load of really cool beers for me. Actually, I have a picture here on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. That's just some of them. I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but yeah, she brought me back some really cool stuff. I'm going to review all of it because it's things from another state that I cannot get here. Not one of the beers that she brought back is available here, so I figure I may not get another chance, so I'm going to review them all now so you guys get to see them. Let's go ahead and get a pour on this one and see what it looks like. Well, there definitely is a little bit of sediment that I got from the bottom of that. Yeah, there's a little bit in there. I don't think it's bottle conditioned, but it did have a little bit of sediment, so it wasn't super filtered. A nice finger and a half of a slightly off-white, very rocky, creamy head. The color is a nice sort of burnt orange. It actually looks the color of a nice vanilla cream ale. Or a nice vanilla cream soda. I meant to say not ale. But yeah, that nice golden burnt orange color. Seems to be fairly carbonated. Lots of tiny bubbles streaming from the bottom. Very pretty, hazy. Let's get a nose and see what this one smells like, guys. Well, you can get a little bit of the bourbon, but it's pretty faint. It's not a super potent bourbon aroma. Definitely get those bitters for sure. A sweet malt backbone, like a caramel sort of a scent. It honestly has some dark fruit, sort of like the cherries. And now, never mind, there's cherries in it. But yeah, so you can get some cherries. A little bit of tartness. Smells really good. Let's get a taste and see what it tastes like. Cheers, guys. Pretty heavy mouthfeel. Yeah, that's a nice heavy mouthfeel. Smoothness from the bourbon barrels. A little vanilla and oakiness from that. Really, really smooth. You get cherries for sure. Get out of here, you little gnat. Sorry, guys. But you get the cherries for sure. You can get a little bit of the bitters, but it's not overwhelming. I was kind of iffy when I read that. I'm not much for bitters in drinks. I don't drink a lot of liquor, but bitters, I don't know. Never been my thing. But it's good in here. It's kind of like a, I don't know, it kind of goes with like a hop sort of a flavor. It adds a sort of a hop bitterness kind of to it, which I don't taste a lot of hops at all, so it's probably good to balance some of the sweetness from the vanilla and from the bourbon. This reminds me a lot of a Belgian quad without the roastiness. It doesn't have all the dark roasted flavors of a quad, so take that part out, but it has the dark fruits, it has that sweet, deep, like a caramel, sort of a fig maltiness. It's got that nice heavy mouthfeel. It's not quite as carbonated, but it is. It's similar to something like a Belgian quad. Belgian Strong Ale. And I mean, I guess it is. It's an American Strong Ale, so they should have some similarities. All in all, that's very tasty. It hides the 10% alcohol, or the 10% ABV very well. I would probably have guessed maybe a 7. Maybe an 8. The bitters, the more you drink of it, the more you get of those bitters. They're really fairly prevalent in there. In the taste, I don't get a whole lot of the bourbon. There's a little bit of a smoothness from it, a little tiny bit of a sweetness. I more get like the vanilla and oakiness from the wood itself, I think. I don't get a lot of orange peel either. That might add just, depending on if they use sweet orange peel or bitter orange peel, but it might be adding a little with the bitters also. All in all, really nice. Head retention is next to none, but at 10% I didn't expect it to be really huge. It is very highly carbonated though. There's a lot of carbonation here, a lot of bubbles. It's a pretty color and a pretty tasty beer. All in all, I have to say I enjoy it. I would rate this. The smell is wonderful. It really does smell a lot like a Belgian style ale. I don't know. I guess I do get some of that orange peel. As it warms up, it will probably come out a little bit more. I'm going to let this warm up and see what it tastes like a little bit more warm. I don't know that I'll post a video of it. I haven't gotten that far into my editing yet where I'll come back and splice another chunk of video in. I should, but I haven't yet. I'm pretty lazy. Sorry. All in all, I think I would have to rate this about an 87. Pretty tasty. Definitely a nice, solid B+ beer. If it had a little more bourbon, it probably would have pumped it up into the 90, 91, 92 range for me, if it really came through with that bourbon flavor. But it's pretty mild on the bourbon. The rest all comes through. The label is true to its word. There is some bourbon there, but the rest is more prevalent. The cherries, the bitters, a little orange peel, the oak. That all comes through pretty strongly. The bourbon, it's kind of an afterthought. So if that would have been a little more prevalent, it would have gotten a little higher rating from me. But it does say on their website that it was aged to give you a mild bourbon flavor. I think they age it 6 weeks in the barrels. So it's not like it's, you know, a 6-month aging process or something where that bourbon's really going to come through. And that's not what they intended. So I guess they're spot on for what they're going for. I really like the bourbon flavor when it comes to a bourbon barrel aged beer. I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for the night. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Leave your comments in the box below. Tell me what you guys think of Kentucky Brewery, or Kentucky Brewing and Distilling Company. Tell me if you guys have had this one maybe, what you think, how much bourbon you got out of it. I've been Brewmaster. You guys have a lovely evening, and cheers.